Hello, everyone, and thank you for checking out this episode of Our Yard Podcast. As always, we are your co-hosts, Swaggy T and Hogmaster Jake. And on today's, we are going to discuss this last episode of Friday Night Smackdown that just happened yesterday. We are recording the Saturday after, and the date, if you're interested in that, is January 24th. We're covering the January 23rd episode of Smackdown. And overall, it was a decent episode from what I saw. It wasn't just like but there was definitely some good moments, and we'll go ahead and let old Harley take over and tell you about the first one.
I, Honestly, I'll say since SmackDown started the beginning of the year, they were going to they moved to 3 hours. I moved back to 3 hour shows, and I was a little weary of that. But honestly, so far they delivered. Like this first month, like honestly, I think SmackDown's been a little easier to digest than Raw for the most part. I
The
mean,
stories have been better, like consistent.
yeah.
The stories have been more consistent than the Raw stories have been.
Plus, it helped that they switched champions on a limb or a limb, on a whim. Like that was crazy shit in itself. But
Absolutely. We had a title drop last night, and we
oh
will get
yeah,
into that when we do. But
but yeah, we so it starts off with Sami Zayn coming out because obviously, so he's involved in the like last week they had a fatal four way, or they had four matches to see who was going to be in the fatal four way tonight. Actually, we'll cover Saturday night main event tomorrow, but it's probably going on. It should be coming on pretty soon. The match itself. Um,
yep.
but anyways, it's the fatal four way is Sami Zayn, Damian Priest, Trick Williams, and Randy Orton. Um, Sami came out obviously Montreal, big pop, hometown crowd,
Hometown.
and hometown. And of course, that's where it's going to be at Montreal at the Bell Center tomorrow for tonight. I'm sorry, that's where it's at is the Bell Center, home of the Canadians. Uh, but anyways, so Sammy's out there cutting a promo, underdog shit. I mean, it's in the vein of a standard Sami Zayn promo, but I mean the dude like, Sammy's like one of the best out there on the mic, in the ring, whatever, just all around best wrestlers, which is currently.
He's a great catch-all. He's really good at just like whatever you need him to be.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the best at it at any particular thing in the ring, but he's good enough that like I could definitely see him being pushed in like a world champion direction for sure.
Except for Brainbuster, he's probably got the best one of them. But
Yeah, well, he's got the best brain buster I've ever seen, but you don't see that move all that often anymore. And the only person I'd even put in that same realm is probably like Eddie.
Kevin, yeah, Kevin
Eddie,
Owens, dude,
Kevin's got a very interesting one.
yeah, the
I
fisherman
like, I like it.
suplex.
Hmm.
But anyways, besides all that, yeah. So anyway, Sammy's out there cutting a promo. Trick comes out, you know, and they look. Trick Williams coming. I just have to say, like, this dude is just main roster ready. I'm glad that they waited a year for him to come up because like it has been so fucking worth it. Like Trick Williams is like he is just a bona fide superstar and like a great wrestler in ring on the mic. Like the dude just oozes charisma. Like I love it. I love this dude. And like it's so cool because like they come out and like everybody's just doing whoop that trick, even though he's a heel. Like they'll do whoop that trick, and then as soon as he gets to the ring, they're booing the piss out of him. Like it's beautiful. You
Yeah,
love to see
and
it.
that's what you want from a heel. And the thing is, especially he's gonna become a face one day, and it's gonna be an amazing day
Oh
because he's a great heel, but his best work is as a face, and there's not really much of a question about
yeah.
that. But it does seem
No,
like 90% of the people they're bringing up from NXT, they give them like a trial run as a
as a
they,
face and a heel.
yeah, they give them a trial run as a face or a heel, and then they just kind of like keep you in that direction unless you're like a perennial heel like a Gunther, or if you're a perennial face like a Rey Mysterio, which he didn't come from NXT, but not many people from NXT that have come up recently have been perennial faces. So
Like maybe Ilya Dragunov would be the
maybe,
closest.
and I'm sure back in the day he's done some hill work. So
Oh yeah, but so they had the three promo like they tied up Sammy, Trick, and Priest. Randy wasn't out there. They all tied up and shit, bitching, getting ready for tomorrow, and then just kind of a build up, kind of a precursor, a little foreshadowing. Um, but then it goes into the first segment or the first like match. It's Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov for the uh, it's
for the
Carmelo.
U.S. For the
It's
U.S.
Melo
The
and
U.S.
yeah,
Championship.
yeah, Melo and Ilya for the U.S. title. Um, Melo, dude, look, Melo, this face turn he's doing fucking wonderful. Like I like I didn't expect him to turn face until like the crowd just got behind him, and all this at the end of the year, at the end of 25, and man, it's just worked out. Like he is just, it's I don't know, dude's doing great work. Him and Ilya, real dude, awesome. Which they had some badass matches. I mean, just total bangers down in NXT, and I'm glad like now they're getting to showcase that on the main roster. On national television, like it's fucking beautiful. But like obviously, it was a badass match. Like just to be a quick title match, and then but like the biggest thing like was the ending sequence when he did Ilya did a Death Valley driver into the corner, which was insane. And Mello kicked out at 2.99, and then of course he was laying out in the ring. Well, he goes up. Ilya gets up on the top rope and gets tripped up by the Miz. Ref doesn't see it. Mello doesn't see it. So, because the whole thing with Mello turning face with the Ilya thing a month or so ago was like the whole integrity part of it. So they're not trying to do that. So I'm assuming they're probably going to have a rematch next week, or probably maybe leading to a triple threat with the Miz, or the Miz somehow like. I mean, the Miz is just like one of the greatest heels, if not the greatest heel. And he's just like him and Randy Orton's like the best heels you can get. You're probably ever gonna find. And like the Miz, just you can plug them in anywhere and it makes sense. So like
Absolutely. The
it's
Miz, the
cool.
Miz can work in any environment,
Oh
and
yeah.
he's a safe worker. You can always bet on him. Like, I don't want to jinx him, but the way he wrestles, you don't have to worry about him like coming up injured. So if he's like your top guy, you can always count on him to be in, week out.
Yep. And it's kind of weird because like the Miz was, like a good like to go off of that, like Kevin Owens said, like he did Cody's podcast last year. What do you want to talk about? And he's like, Kevin Owens said he was watching as a fan, when he was in ROH, and he's like, man, he's like, how the fuck is the Miz? Why is he a WrestleMania main eventer? Why is he a champion? And blah blah blah. He's like, this dude, like, I don't get it. He's a fucking joke. Blah blah. And then he said when he got into the WWE and the Miz came down there and NXT and met him, and then he got in the ring with him, and he's like, oh. And Kevin Owens like, I understand completely. So for Kevin Owens to give you that nod of approval, you gotta be, you have to be a goat because like Kevin Owens is one of the best to ever fucking do it.
Absolutely.
But so after that, there's gonna be some storylines continuing off that, I'm sure. The next thing was it was getting ready for the Chelsea versus Jade match, and they were backstage. Chelsea and Alba Fire were backstage coming up, and they're like, "Excuse me,"
Don't
they were
Secret
talking
Service.
to, yeah, they were trying to recruit Jordan Grace to be a Slagent. So Slagent Jay, and she's like, "No, I'm good." But then they said, "Well, I'm facing Jade," and she's like, "Oh, you're facing Jade?" She's like, "I'll be there." So she showed up. Of course, background character Chelsea. You know, Chelsea making Jade look like $1 million out there,
Of
and
course. And Jade already has gotten a lot better. So
she
that
has
don't
gotten
like that's not even like to be taken as a slight towards Jade, because Jade has gotten a lot better, but Chelsea Green is just
phenomenal.
we got some shit we're gonna get off our chest. You want to do it now or later?
Hell, you can do it now.
Mindful Hayes is a stupid son of a bitch. And I'm talking about fucking Chelsea as a development talent. And she's pretty much like the gatekeeper to being a world champion, but not good enough to be a world champion herself. And I'll tell you what, that's the stupidest fucking take I've heard in quite a while. And it's by somebody that's been in the business for 40, 50 years. Like you wouldn't expect that from him, but it is what it is.
Yep.
You see it with your own eyes how good this woman is, and then you have somebody that established trying to take the piss out of her on like WWE television, right?
Oh yeah,
Fuck that.
unreal.
Yeah, fuck that dude.
And WWE Unreal season 2.
Yeah, so
That's crazy, but like so Jordan Grace is she's gonna be leading up to facing Jade. I don't know if Jordan Grace is gonna go for the I'm sure she'll be in the Rumble. I don't think she's gonna have a match next week with her. But if she goes into the Rumble and tries to go after and goes after I don't know. We'll see. We'll see either way. Like it's gonna be interesting to see what Jordan Grace ends up doing, like how they go about her and Jade, because that match is going to cook. Like
I think
Jordan Grace is,
that's gonna be a hell of a little rivalry right there.
oh yeah, like Jordan
Um,
Grace is one of the she she's one of the best talents in the company, man or woman. Like she's just good.
it-
She's just
no, it don't matter. She is that bitch.
mm-hmm. And but so after that we got the title change of the night. MFT, my family tree. It was Solo and Tama Tonga facing the Wyatt Six, which was
It was I think it was Dexter
Gacy.
Loomis, Gacy and Loomis.
Yeah, Loomis and Gacy. I don't know why I lost her name for a second, but anyways, yeah. So Solo and Tama, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like a free bird rule. They're probably gonna throw the
Yeah,
title
like
around,
have it just like anybody can, as long as they're in that faction, they can compete for it.
but I think I don't know. There's something interesting because I think the tag title's about to swap around too. Like I think they're about to bounce them around a little bit and get somebody in there. Which I don't know where Motor City Machine Guns are. I don't know if they like hell take them to Raw if you want to put them in that division. If they don't think it's in, if they don't have anything for SmackDown or something, I don't know. But Motor City Machine Guns need to be doing something because they're too fucking good. One of the greatest of all time to just be sitting on the back burner. But
Mhm.
anyways, I think it's going to be interesting. I think they got some cool stuff about to cook up again on the SmackDown tag team division, which I am glad they finally revitalized the Raw tag team division too, having the Usos back on top and putting actually wrestling every week and stuff. So,
Absolutely.
but yeah, we'll see. Like it was a pretty good match. I mean, it was of course it was a lot of interruptions, interference, and of course a lot of it. There's a big storyline that MFT they stole the lantern of Bray Wyatt. Like they have his lantern. And
And that's an interesting way to actually have the Wyatt Six seem like the faces coming, trying
mhm.
to trying to actually come back from some adversity rather than like causing chaos as they have been. And if you're going to keep them around, that's a good way to do that. Is like, and I want them to kind of break away from having to use Bray Wyatt,
Yeah,
but you know, um, time will tell with that. And again, that's no disrespect towards Bray Wyatt himself. It's because he was going to be a legend, and really he was a legend when he passed. But
yeah, he was going to solidify himself even more the next 10 years.
I mean, the Undertaker like passed the torch to him in the ring.
Mm.
That's 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 high praise. So for something like that to happen, and but now that like he kind of lives on through this tag team, but I don't want them to have to use like his legacy as a crutch because
Yeah.
that's not fair to them.
Mm-mm.
And it's also not fair to Bray's legacy because, like, as good as Bo Dallas is standalone, like in the ring especially. Like he never was just like the best mic worker, but like this Uncle Howdy character is interesting as hell. It's just they haven't really booked the faction the way they've needed to, and it's just been disappointing to see. And for them to finally have something like this, where they have like things taken from them rather than them taking things away from people, so to speak, I'm excited to see where that goes. And Solo Sikoa is $1 million, so I mean, you put him in this storyline, it's going to be great.
Yeah, Solo's like he's really turned around. Like the last two, like, cause like 2 years ago, I could give two shits less about him, and like now he's just like he's captivated the world. Like the last year and a half, I'd say, like just broadening his character and like doing all different kinds of stuff, like comedic, serious, whatever, just anything. Like he's just good, and but we'll see what they're gonna do, how they're gonna play off that, and then next you had a quick match. It was Johnny wrestling, or Johnny Gargano. I just said wrestling. I figured he's gonna go back to that moniker just for the fact that Gargano or Tommaso Ciampa's leaving. So
Which is
I'm
unfortunate.
yeah, it's unfortunate, but he's I guess he's just wanting to go out and do a few more things before he hangs the boots up. Because I mean they are like mid 40s, so I'm sure they're probably getting ready to do a little singles runs and do whatever and put yourself out there and end it up. But anyways, yeah, like Johnny Gargano's had this whole he's had this whole like storyline with Faxion, or well, yeah, Faxion, because or Fraxium, he stole Axiom one of his masks, and then like him and Kendall Ray have pretty much been raising hell with it and going back and forth, and they ended up rolling it like Axiom caught like at the end of the ending sequence. Uh, he ended up like hitting Candace, and she turned away, and he put the mask on her head, and then she just like Johnny was
She's
behind her, and then like
trying to take the mask off, and she bopped the fuck out of him, and he.
and then Nathan Fraser rolled him up, and and then yeah, pretty much like they got away with the win. But then she got back in the ring and grabbed the mask back, and then ran off in the crowd, and Johnny Gargano went off backstage. So there's still some more stories with that. It's an interesting storyline, and like, but I hope they do some more because like Johnny Gargano deserves a solid run. I'm not getting my hopes up. I doubt they're gonna push him and like do some world title shit at some point, which they could in a few years. I mean, really. But I'm not, like I said, not getting my hopes up for that. But I'd like to see him run out in the mid card. Go out to the U.S. title. Or if they switch him to Raw, go out to the IC title. Whatever. Just run some mid card shit.
Yeah.
And because he's never had, just singles. He's never really had a singles push or nothing since he's been on the main roster. It's just been DIY. But then you got after that, Drew McIntyre comes out. Dude, like he looks like $1,000,000. He looks like $1,000,000 regardless, but like with the title on him, dude, like it's money. It's fucking money. Like
Absolutely.
he comes out like Drew. We've been saying this for a few years. Like he has probably been the best mic worker in the company the last 2.5 years. Like
Consistent.
consistently. Like I mean, obviously CM Punk. Cause that whole rivalry right there in 24, like they were going toe to toe. Like anybody going toe to toe with Phil Brooks is a fucking madman. So
Mm-hmm. And
like,
there were several times where Drew had
oh yeah.
him
So like,
beat.
I mean, there you go. Like, I mean, he's just been on fire. I'm finally glad they got him to run, got him the title back and running like and doing the run while he's a heel. And like I'm just curious to see how far it goes. Cause like now it's like this is the cool thing about Cody. Cause like with Cody, everything was predictable. It's like they're probably gonna wait till the big four pay-per-view, blah blah blah. Well, now it's like, what the fuck are they gonna do? Because like Drew won it on SmackDown, and like now they're kind of just going back. Like you don't really know. Like it's interesting. That's a lot of the reason what I said at the beginning. of the podcast was like it's there's a lot of interesting facts. There's a lot of interesting things like topics and stuff, storylines going around SmackDown now because they did that title change, and it's like, oh, anything can happen. It feels like anything's possible, kind of like back in the ruthless aggression era when you didn't know like anything could fucking happen. It's just cool. I like it, and like, but Drew came out there just cut a promo on everybody. I mean, just fire, like talking about Trick Williams. Like, yeah, you a young guy coming out, rookie, and he's like, but if you want to step into the big leagues, he's like, I hope it's not you. He's like, because I'm gonna beat your ass back down to developmental. And then he said, and then of course he went to Sammy and started dogging Sammy and like talking about his son and all that and family shit. Just being a fucking heel, like being the best one out of it. And then and then he talks shit. And then we got He's like, then we got Randy Orton. Everybody popped. He's like, and they started chanting RKO. He's like, y'all can say RKO. He's like, this isn't the same man. This isn't the Viper. This isn't the Legend Killer. This isn't the guy that I swapped. I fought Hell in a Cell and I swapped the title with and during COVID and all that. He's like, this isn't the same guy. He's like, this is a neutered version. He's like, Randy's playing it safe and doing all this. He's like, he's scared. Like, he's a coward, whatever. Like, all this shit. He's like, he's like, this is Randall Keith Orton. He's like, the Viper's dead or whatever. Like, it was just cool, how he phrased everything. It got you really it got me excited about what's going to happen. Like, for tonight, about the Fatal 4-Way that's going on. But then after that, they had a three-way qualifier women's tag team match. Excuse me. You had the up and coming Lash Legend and Nia Jax tag team, which is a fucking unit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, man. Then you had Kiana, James, and Julia in there with them, facing them, and then Charlotte. Which there's the women's tag team, they've been pushing that shit, and like it's very interesting now. It's like there's so many different things that can go on. Like it's cool. I'm excited for it. But yeah, Charlotte, kind of curious to see how that goes. I like to see what they're going to end up playing out like, and then, but I mean, the match itself was, the match itself was fucking, it was a banger. I mean, it was, I wouldn't say full on, but it was a really good match. It was solid, a lot of great in ring workers in there, good chemistry between everybody, and like Kiana James and Julie ended up rolling them up and winning. And like Kiana James, she fucking showed out. Like she was the star of that match. I think. Like she was because she's kind of just been like the voice for Julia the last few months, and like last night she just went hard, man. Like she was doing all kind of shit. Like she was showing off her in ring abilities, and it's fucking dope. I was enjoying it. So pretty much they won that to see who's going to face the winner of tonight. I don't know. I know the match is already over, so when this airs, but like I said, we'll review that tomorrow. We're going to watch it after this. We just wanted to do this episode before.
Yeah, just a quick little teaser.
Yeah. So whoever, which I mean, I'm about positive I'm about positive, that Rhea and Io won or they retained against Liv and Roxanne, but who knows? But pretty much like Kiana James and Julia is gonna go off and face the winner of tonight. So at the Monday, yeah, I think they're gonna face them Monday, yeah, on Raw, and then after all that, you get to the end of the show. It's like the last segment for the main event. And Sami Zayn is backstage and he's talking he goes up to Damian Priest and say, "Look, I know there's shit going on. Like, if anybody runs out there and tries to intervene, like I'll help you, or like if they try doing some shady shit." And Damian Priest like, "I don't need your." He's like, "I don't need your damn help. Like, I don't." He's like, "We're facing each other next week, so what does it matter? Like, I don't need your help. Like, you don't need me. I don't need you. Blah blah blah." Well, they go back and forth on all that, obviously, and like Sammy's like, "You know what?" He's like, "It doesn't matter." He's like, "You're right." He's like, "I'll do what I want." He said, "Matter of fact, I don't have to listen to you. I don't have to listen to anybody." He's like, "I'm doing this shit my way." He said, "I'm going for the title." He's like, "I'm finally going to be a world champion, regardless of what happened." So after that, Sammy's walking up, and Drew McIntyre's like, scoffing and shit. He's like, "Hey, Sammy," or whatever. Like, he's like, "You got anything to say?" And Sammy just looked at him and slapped the dog shit out of him, and then walked off. I was like, "Damn!" And so they had that build up. So that's gonna be interesting to see what happens if Sammy wins tonight.
The battle
And
of the
then,
feet.
oh yeah, and then the main event you have Damian Priest versus Trick Williams. Mister Whoop That Trick, and brother, it was like it's so crazy. Like you see Trick Williams, like you're like, yeah, he's a big dude, right? Whatever. They like you put him in there. It's like you putting him in there with Damian Priest, and like them some bitches are standing face to face, and like they are fucking behemoths. Like
Mhm.
this fatal four way that's going on this evening of Priest, Trick Williams, and Randy Orton and Sami Zayn. Like it's bonkers that Sami Zayn is going to be the smallest part. He's going to look like the runt, and he's 6'2", 230. Like he's going to look because the rest of them are 6'5", 6'6", like 260 to 290. Like it's crazy shit. Like there's some fucking men out there. But the match itself it's just good. Like Priest and Trick Williams have great chemistry, and they're going back and forth. And then Sammy comes out there and he's like, get the hell out of here. Priest like, I don't need you out here. Trick hits him with a trick shot, and he's about to roll him up. Well, Sammy jumps in and just starts beating the hell out of him. Well, that disqualified, DQs the match right there, and then it just turned into a fucking free for all. Like they just start hitting each other with finishers everywhere, and then they're all doing that, and then all of a sudden, Trick Williams is sitting there, and like he hits a trick shot and shit, and he's like, standing tall. He's like, yeah, I do, whatever, celebrating while he's doing that, and then Mister Randall Keith Orton pops up behind him, and he starts doing his hung
He
out
whooped
and
that
shit.
RKO.
And he tapped his shoulder. He's like, he's like, "Hey, bud," and he looked around and he RKO'd. And then Sammy came up there and he's like gonna shake his hand, and he's smiling. Then he RKO'd him and RKO'd like he just RKO'd everybody. I mean, it's Randy Orton, it's gonna happen. It's like breathe. It's like your lungs are gonna get oxygen. Yeah.
He longs for chaos.
Oh yeah. Which I hope he like on that end. Like I hope Randy ends up turning heel sometime soon. Like Randy is a great character, whatever he's doing. He is a great face because he's a legend and everybody loves him or whatever. But the problem with, like I said earlier about him and the Miz, like they're the best heels to ever fucking do it. So like, why do you have him just being a face, like relegated to being a face? Like fuck that, make him a heel. Like you don't need a reason either. Like you just be like Randy gets pissed off, we believe it because we've seen it for 20 years. Just gets pissed off and then pump kicks somebody. Boom, you got your fucking heel turn. That's all you
Mhm.
need. But yeah, that was pretty much the conclusion of the January 23rd episode of Friday Night Smackdown, which
That
was
would
some
be the
good.
one. It
Yeah,
was good. I'd give it a 4.5. No, I give it a
I give it.
7.
Yeah, I
seven
was
and a
gonna
half out
say.
of 10.
Yeah,
Being
I was gonna
generous,
say it
but
was a
seven
pretty
out of 10.
solid. It was an enjoyable episode. Like it was easy watching. You
Yeah.
know, I like it. Obviously, it's not like a great. It's not like one of the best ever, or like something that just popped out. But like it was an entertaining episode. It was easy to watch. It didn't feel like the time was dragging. So like seven, like 6.5, 7 out of 10. Like it was good. Really
Yeah.
great episode. And oh yeah, like you said, come to find, I guess like come out today, uh, or last night or sometime. But I guess Road Dogg has stepped down from
It's had a
co-lead writer.
creative, so I don't know who filled his spot. I can look it up, but yeah, Road Dogg apparently has been head of creative for quite a while, and he has stepped down.
Yep.
And to anybody that doesn't know who Road Dogg is, he was a former member of DX and a member of kind of an adjacent member of the Clique.
Um,
Um,
he was in the tag team
not
Blue
really
Age
directly in
Outlaws.
it, but he was close enough with him that he may as well have been.
Yep.
And on like that Billy Gunn level. Speaking of
Mhm.
former tag team champion with Billy Gunn, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. And he was the man that got R-Truth into. He's the man that got R-Truth into the WWE or WWF at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, yeah. Let's I don't know some news,
We'll see how it
but
goes.
and yeah, but on some other sports,
We got
the
we got
Spurs.
the NFL playoffs.
Spurs are winning the championship this year. Sorry, haters.
No, they might.
Hate to
You still
flex
get
on you.
you got the Thunder to deal with, but they are also like 3-0 against the Thunder this year, so there's that.
Yeah.
So I know the Patriots and the Broncos playing tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central for the AFC Championship. That's 12 p.m. for the West Coast folks out here. And the NFC Championship, Rams and Seahawks at 5:30 Central. And I gotta say it. I really don't give a fucking. I don't give a fuck who wins either one of these games. I just don't care at all about either team, especially in the AFC Championship. And I know you can attest to that because we both hate the Patriots and the Broncos are in the Raiders division. I
Yeah.
get like the only team in here that I guess would not mind winning would probably be the Rams.
Yeah. Um.
I don't really have anything personal against the Seahawks myself, but I just don't care one way or another about them.
Yeah. I mean, I get like really being a Raiders fan. Fuck the Broncos. Fuck the Patriots. I don't like. I got burned out of that dynasty. Um. I mean, Seahawks like Seahawks and Rams. I would prefer either one to win. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, I want to pull. I guess I'll go for the Seahawks just because. Dude, it would be so funny just to see Sam Darnold like turn into this great quarterback and win a ring. Like that'd be dope as fuck. Just to piss off the Jets and everybody else, like just every other franchise that gave up on them. Uh, I just think it'd be a cool story. And it pissed. I mean, the Vikings had him last year and didn't want to resign him. They're like, it'll be a little bit too much money. We got J.J. McCarthy, Mister Nine, shitting the fucking bed out there.
Captain
Or
Handoff out there.
yeah, fucking the handoff merchant as you call him.
The handoff
Uh,
merchant. That's that. I mean that. I
that's
mean,
it.
can he make a
That's
good
it.
pass? Sure. I mean, a broken clock's right twice a day, so
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, my prediction going into this is I think the Seahawks are going to beat the Rams.
It's probably gonna be Seahawks and Patriots.
I really don't. I don't think anybody really wants to see that,
Mm-mm.
except for
Unless
fans
it's
of the
a
respective
unless
teams. But
unless it's a blowout in the Super Bowl, then everybody's gonna like that. Because
yeah,
not, I can promise you, most of America does not want to see the
a close
Patriots
game
back in.
between, especially a close game.
Oh no, yeah, they don't want to see a close game, but they definitely don't want to see the fucking Patriots back in the playoff or the Super Bowl picture.
I don't want to see
Um,
them as a franchise be the first one to get 7.
oh yeah, that. But like, I'll be honest with you, the Rams got the best shot at beating the Seahawks. And, bro, I'm just telling like the Seahawks, that defense is fucking out of this world. And like Sam Darnold's been playing great. Like last week, he didn't. I think he's been dealing with a little injury, bruised sternum or something. So like he hasn't been like 110% himself or whatever. But like he's still been playing good. Good. I mean, he's been managing the game. Like he's been doing what he has to do to get the ball down the field, hand off, like get touchdowns. I mean, what are you gonna do? Um,
Can't do nothing.
like, dude, I mean, the Seahawks, they're legit, man. They are legit. Um, I mean, it pains me to say just because I'm a Raiders fan, but I'd almost rather see the Broncos win just because I hate the fucking Patriots. Like, I don't want to see the Patriots. I hate the fact that the Patriots really they suck. They suck 4 out of 5. Like, yeah, 4 out of the last 5 seasons they had losing seasons, and it's like, fuck you, dude. Suffer. Like suffer like how I have as a Raiders fan for 25 fucking years. Like suffer this shit. I'm tired of it.
Suffer right now.
Yeah, like dude, this is bullshit. Like you can't. I just look, and I about just give up on the fucking Raiders. Like I was pulling from the lose games this year, and that's probably the most fun I've had since you know, well, 21. Whenever they fired Gruden and Rich Bisaccia came in and they went to the playoffs and barely lost to the Bengals. Um, that was cool. That was fun. But the 2016 season, as far as a full year, that was awesome. I love that. That's the best season that I've experienced in my life. I think because like the 2016 season, like all my teams are pretty good. You know, like
Yeah.
all my sports teams were good. Like the Spurs were in the playoffs, Raiders made the playoffs. Raiders that whole thing. If Derek Carr didn't break his leg or break his ankle, he probably would have ended up. He was gonna win the MVP
Well,
until he broke his leg, broke his ankle,
hmm.
and then like dude, I don't really see because that's the year the Patriots beat the Falcons in Super Bowl 51, the 28-3, and like really because we beat the Patriots that year. I mean, I know it's hard to beat a team twice in a year, but like I really feel like the Raiders. Like that was the one year in my life I was like, I think I'm going to see a Raiders Super Bowl. Like I really, because they couldn't lose. Like they could come back in the fourth quarter from anything. Like I don't know. Rest in peace. The one fucking hope I have. Yeah, they're just gonna fucking suck, I guess. Anyways, I'm not trying not to get on that shit.
It's
But yeah,
okay.
we're gonna. I
Um,
guess I'm gonna be pulling for the Seahawks and Broncos. A fucking rematch.
and I know one thing as a Steelers fan, we did get rid of Mike McCarthy. Jesus, we got Mike McCarthy. So big that in the chat because it's not gonna.
Mike
It's not like it might be good, it might be bad. It's either gonna be one or the other, and
McCarthy and Rogers back together, baby.
yeah, we'll see how that goes. They won a Super Bowl one time, and then they didn't a lot. So it's kind of like how we've been. But yeah, that's pretty much I think all we got for this episode. We're going to keep it kind of short, and we're going to cover the rest of the sports tomorrow, and we will probably record after we figure out who's going to the Super Bowl, and maybe even after Saturday night's main event. So
Yep.
it depends on how late it'll be, but. Well, I guess that's going to be happening tonight. So it'd be weird if Saturday night's main
It's
event
already
would be
over.
happening. It's already over.
Or it's about to end right now. It's 9 o'clock.
All right.
Or
Either
nine
way,
o'clock here, seven
yeah.
o'clock your time. But yeah.
Yeah, we will cover that in the next episode we record tomorrow. So as always, thank y'all for watching. I have been Swaggy T.
Ben Hogmeister.
Oh,
Love you guys. We're going home. You ever listen to Morgan Wallen?
not by choice.